People always ask what I remember most about prison. They expect me to say the noise, the metal doors clanging, the guards barking orders, the women shouting names that didn't belong to 'em anymore. But no, what I remember most is the quiet that followed. There's a kind of silence that settles into your bones when you've been stripped of everything. Your name, your clothes, your choices. You start hearing yourself more clearly. And let me tell you, sometimes that's the loudest sound in the world. I was 26 when I went in, scared, angry, still thinking I could outsmart the system that had already had my name written in ink. Mama cried, but she didn't visit much. I told her not to. I couldn't stand to see that disappointment in her eyes, the kind that says, "You're better than this, baby," but also, "I told you so." And my daughter, Nia, she was 5 years old, twisting her hair in little knots and asking Grandma when Mommy was coming home. There's a room in that place they call recreation. That's funny to me now. It ain't much recreation when you surrounded by concrete and ghosts. But it's where I learned something about grace. There was this woman, Miss Evelyn. She was old enough to be my grandma, always crocheting something. Little squares that didn't seem like much. One day she handed me a needle and a ball of yarn and said, "You want to stop counting the days? Make something instead." I laughed at her at first. I told her I wasn't the crafting type. So I tried, and every loop I made felt like a breath, slow, deliberate, forgiving. I started counting the loops instead of the hours, and somehow that kept me alive. The women in there, we came from every kind of story. Some took pride in their crimes. Others took refuge in denial. Me, I learned that guilt can't be washed away with soap and cold water. It sits on your skin until you decide to name it. Mine had a name, Rash Decisions, and another one, Pride. You'd be amazed what people confess at night when the lights go out. Whispers travel through that place like prayers. One woman used to sing gospel every Sunday morning. Even when the guards told her to hush, she said she wasn't singing for them, said she was singing to God, so God wouldn't forget where she was. That stuck with me, because I realized I wasn't afraid that God forgot me. I was afraid I'd forgotten myself. I started journaling. Little scraps of paper, corners of envelopes, writing letters to Nia that I couldn't send yet. I told her about the sunrise through the tiny slit of a window, how it hit the wall like gold dust. I told her how I missed the smell of rain on my skin, how I promised I'd come home better. Not perfect, but better. 3 years later, when they finally called my name for release, I didn't cry. I thought I would, but instead I stood there, holding that little crocheted square Miss Evelyn made me. I carried it out like a flag, proof that something inside me had survived. And now, every morning I wake up before the sun. I make coffee, I breathe, and before the world starts demanding I be strong or grateful or fixed, I sit with the quiet, because that's what taught me how to live again.